Alright, welcome back to War Thunder Weekly News. This week is a large one. We got 3 large stories and like 2 or so less large stories. First large story, the Italian tech tree has finally been announced, with the air tree. No word on tanks yet. I'm very excited for this. From the Italian vehicles we currently have in game, they seem to act a lot like Japanese ones. The 2 pre-order packs that you can get are the Fiat CR32 airplane from the Spanish Civil War. It has 2 50 cals and 2 not 50 cals. What's kind of odd about this is a $10 plane. You get some Golden Eagles and premium time as well. But it's like tier 1 and is only probably a little better than what the reserves are going to be. So it's like not exactly spectacular, although I guess it kind of holds up to the one of the tanks that came out with the British tree. The next vehicle, one that I was heavily looking forward to, the Fiat G55S. This is a prototype version of the G55 that can carry a torpedo for some odd reason. I don't think it ever got out of the prototype stage. It's armed with 3 20mm and nothing else. Typically, normal G55s have machine guns in their nose. This one had to get them removed for some reason. But this vehicle has a very high reputation, and it's probably going to be quite the beast at tier 4. Helps you get those spaghetti jets real fast. This vehicle looks rather awesome. It has a cool camo and whatnot, though there's one part that the historical community is a bit annoyed with. They changed the historical decal for legal reasons. One of the many countries that War Thunder is played in does not allow the fascist symbol. This slightly annoys me, but I understand why they do it. Quick after record edit, there was a story that I missed that had to do with the Italian tech tree. An image was leaked of the Kant Z1007 bomber. No other information has talked about this bomber, but seems to be a very official Gaijin Devblog photo, so I guess it's a basically confirmed aircraft. I'm expecting the Devblog next week. World War Mode has received a Devblog in a sense, though it's still rather unclear exactly how it's going to play out. It seems like you would get into the menu and you select a battle. I'm not sure if the battles are going to be like battles we have already, or if they're going to make new maps that are like large and different. And I'm not really exactly sure what the commanders are going to do. Like, is it really a real-time strategy thing, or are you just selecting things? Are you going to see movement on this world map, I guess what I'm asking. I'm a bit retarded, so I don't entirely understand all of it. I think it's best if you go read it yourself, but things that should be always known are that the battles are going to be played in realistic battles with markers, and you have to be in a squadron to participate. People have been really upset about these 2 issues. I can understand the squadrons things, but I really do not like markers in RB. It's stupid, in my opinion. They're most likely doing this because they don't want the new game mode to be infested with hackers. Also, at the end of the news article, it states that the start of World War Mode will announce separately. Follow the news. So what I'm getting from this is it's not guaranteed to be in the next patch. It doesn't say exactly what it's going to be separately announced from, but I'm assuming that's the upcoming patch. The third large story is the devs had a Q&A, and they actually answered some goddamn questions. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and read out a few of the questions I thought was interesting. You should probably read it on your own and come to your own conclusions for other ones. First question I thought was interesting. Are there still plans for variants of existing popular low mid-range fighters such as the P-40, BF-110, Hurricane, F-4U, P-47, and P-51? And the answer is yes. Several modifications of these machines are in production now. Another question I thought was kind of interesting. Is it possible we'll see premium variants of famous Spanish modifications of German aircraft such as Merlin engine-powered Hispano HA-112 M1L, which is a BF-109G, and CASA-2-111, which is an HE-111? The answer, currently, there are no plans. What I thought was interesting about this is, well, perhaps they wouldn't sell well or whatever, or they'd feel out of place. I was thinking maybe with their current attitude towards new tech trees, they've talked openly about having the the French and the Italians as we have now, or will have. I'm wondering, are they going to make a international tree, as some people have been asking, and these would be perfect for that tree, as they are international airplanes that didn't partake in the war. I have some opinions about the international tree. I feel it's too homogenous, and I think the nations should be separated on more factionized. Are there still plans for a light tank branch for Germany, or have those plans been abandoned? Answer: most likely it will not be completely separate bunch, but we will add the most interesting machines among other branches. Something interesting is already planned in the next major patch, so we're gonna get light tanks for Germany in the next patch. Are there plans for a Ground Forces Japanese Tier 4 Premium? Answer is yes, there are such plans. What I'm assuming is we're going to get the STA-3 or STA-4. That's pretty interesting. Those are cool. I think the 3 has an autoloader, which will be a big advantage over the other ones. I don't remember what the 4 had advantage of. Oh, it had a 20. That's what I remember. Okay. Are there any plans for German Waffenträger self-propelled guns / tank destroyers in the second German tank destroyer line? Answer: yes, there are plans for such machines, but most likely we will not match a second line of tank destroyers. We will add the machines separately to a different branch. What I thought was kind of interesting about this is there are 2 lines of tank destroyers. So either it's a typo, or they have smashed the 2 lines together and there's now room for another one. Beyond Italy and France, are there any other major nations that may be considered? Or will the remaining nations be united into the international tech tree sort? Sweden, for example, has many independent aircraft and ground forces and could support its own tree. We do not exclude the possible introduction of machines of Sweden or Czech construction, as well as other European countries, but we cannot decide the details yet. When compared to other Q&As, they don't reveal much, but this one had a whole lot coming out, and I think that's because patch is coming up soon and they want to generate that hype. Now on to the bit smaller news, another destroyer came out, Project 7U, a Russian destroyer. It has the same cannons as the Su-100Y. It goes 36 to 38 knots, about to 70 kilometers per hour. It has 6 torpedo tubes, both on 2 different swivels, and has 4 130 millimeter naval cannons, and it has 2 67 anti-air guns and a 45 and some 50s. Well, I'm wondering, is this 67 going to have airburst shells, or is it just going to be like another gun, be shooting at aircraft for some weird reason? I don't know. I'm hoping that they add those airburst shells, because then we could use those in tanks for the slow-moving anti-air trucks. This marks as the second destroyer we have in game. We're expecting to have one for all current nations, so I think it leaves 3 left: Germany, America, and Japan. I'm also really wondering if they're going to release a Italian one, if the Italian tree comes out in time, or if they're going to release the Italian Navy separately. There has been some Italian boats hinted at, but that's a story for another time. The last 2 Chronicles vehicles, if you've been keeping up with the Chronicles events, you probably have them. They have devblogs. You could read about them. Apparently the Yak-3T is like any other Yak. It's a bigger gun, doesn't really do much. And I haven't heard anything from the A33 Excelsior. It had its BR lowered to 4.0, which is neat, or at least as I've heard. So hey, if you have the Excelsior, tell me about it. I'd really like to know what you think. Its flat armor has me concerned. Final news story of the day. Current events, actually. So I guess you gotta be fast on these ones. The Victory Day is going on. The 9th is coming up, but they've started them now. First off, the Katyusha event. You now have an opportunity to get a Katyusha rocket launcher truck. What you do is currently, if you do have the BM824, it'll be a lot easier for you, but if you don't have it, there's a code that you can put into the code area on the website. Katyusha is the code, and it gives you a test drive for 1 hour and 5 backups it gave me, which was neat. And what you have to do with the BM824 is kill 5 enemies in 1 game. Kills with artillery and aircraft in arcade seem to count. And doing that, you receive the Katyusha rocket launcher truck, or the BM13N. You can enter the code once a day till the 10th. the BM842 is on sale, 30% off, along with all other allied vehicles. They added an event only for the BM824. It's called Rocket Science in the event tab. Honestly though, I don't think you should go with the event. I think it's best to attempt this in regular arcade battles, because in the event everyone's going out for kills, but in regular arcade battles there are still people trying to do the objectives, and that's the perfect area to flank people when they're trying to cap zones and whatnot, because they're all huddled together. I didn't find the challenge too hard. I got it on my second try. The Katyusha truck itself is rather awful. It has no armor, it's the 3.7. It has hydraulic suspension, which is rather cool, and its rockets are really deadly. You can kill a Panther from the side, assuming you're able to hit the ammo rack, though it has no practical use. For winning 3 games with 70% activity using a rank 3 or higher vehicle, you'll receive a decal called a Victory Star. It's a cool white star with like red paint or whatever all rubbed together. On the 8th of May, if you complete the World War II Chronicles task, you will receive a Jaws or mouth decal or whatever, and a PBSH 1942 3D decoration. If you haven't noticed, there is a sale going on. Vehicles are 30% off for all allies, and premium time is 50% off. The Victory Hour PvE mission has been added to the events tab. If you haven't played it, it's rather fun, and you can get a flag decal, which is really cool. Some people have trouble with it. I'd say just keep going with it. It can be a bit tricky. Finally, there is a Victory Day tournament going on, an arcade only for tier 3 tanks. You will see it in the event tab. The top 200 winners will receive, for tanks, the Su-76M 5th Grand Cavalry Corps, and for aircraft you'll get the I-301. But that's not the only way to get those vehicles. For winning 5 games, you will be able to open a battle chest or whatever, and in that you can receive the premium vehicle, a random camouflage for the participating vehicle, 30% Silver Lion and RP booster, and backups for the participating vehicle. There are more rules on the page. I'll have a link to it below. So that's about everything. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, I make these every weekend. Subscribe if you want to. On weekdays, I like to sometimes make random videos, and I've been hitting streaming lately. I might switch to Twitch because it's just easier. Google streaming is not top notch. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you next time.